So before we get too far on this, I want to say thank you to everyone who's liked and subscribed so far. I think I'm up to 600, which is not something I ever thought I would do. So today we're doing a gear kind of look at some pieces of gear that I have, this guitar specifically, but we also do lessons and all those good things. So there's tons of stuff on the channel and in the playlist that you can look at. Please, if you like what you see, like and subscribe, and we'll keep doing them. All right, back to the video. I never have any idea what to play on these things. So I've been having a lot of questions lately. Hey y'all, by the way, about my old DeArmond M75T. So I have a lot of history with these kind of guitars. So way back when I was still in college and I couldn't afford a Gretsch and I really wanted a Duo Jet or something, I walked into a music store in downtown Decatur, Alabama, and one of these was on the wall. So I took it down, played it, and I really liked the blue sparkle, so I said, sure, I'll take it. I think I maybe paid $500 or $600 for it back then. I think mine was a 99. The reason I'm saying that, yeah, this one's a 99 also, is because this isn't the same guitar. So I played that first DeArmond for the entire first year that my band was a house band gigging on Bill Street in Memphis. This was probably back in 2002, something like that. And then I saved up enough money to buy a real Gretsch. And so I got a 6120, and then that guitar went back into backup status, right? So I was playing the 6120. If something went wrong with it, I'd grab that DeArmond and give it a go. Let's turn these knobs off here so you can see it. So played that guitar, loved it, had it forever. It was my backup. And then we moved to Austin, Texas around 2005. Still my backup guitar. 2006, it gets stolen while it's downtown. And so, you know, those are the breaks. Sometimes you lose stuff, sometimes things get stolen. It sucked, but here we are today. The good news about that is I somehow managed to get some insurance money, which allowed me to buy the Gretsch White Falcon that I played for the rest of my career with that band up until today. I use it on some videos around here. It's still my number one great favorite guitar, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about this guitar. So a couple years ago, I'm on my couch looking through Marketplace, and lo and behold, one of these is on there, and I'm curious, is this my same guitar? So I run over to the guy's house, and this poor old girl was in some rough shape. There were some dings in the headstock, was missing a piece of binding here. The knobs, these are replacement knobs. The knobs were busted up. But I went ahead and bought it anyway and brought it home. Turned out it's not the same guitar, but that's okay, because it's still a pretty cool guitar. So I brought it home, cleaned it up, and I forgot how nice these were. I'd bought this kind of on a nostalgia tip, and then I decided, because by that time I had bought a 1996 Duo Jet with Filtertrons. There's some older videos that I made where I was kind of comparing them. Turns out this guitar is still here, and I traded off the Duo Jet. And so this guitar, the tuners are great. It looks very similar to that Duo Jet that I had. So if you're in the market for a 90s Gretsch, honestly, you're probably better off with one of these if you can find them. I think I paid $600 for this in rough shape. You can get one on Reverb all the time for around $600. The tuners were nicer. The body was the same. I think this one was about a pound lighter than that mid-90s Duo Jet, which is not surprising. And it's got these pickups, these DeArmond, these are the 2Ks, I believe. And so they're a little more P90-ish if you really think about it. And so now, so just look at this thing. So, like I said, it's a great guitar, rosewood fingerboard. I think it's a mahogany body. I'm not sure. The gold, the blue sparkle's fantastic on it, right? That's really cool. But the pickups are the star of the show. So I'll do some demos in a minute. I'm really crappy at guitar demos, but I'll run through the different settings on it real quick. We'll just play around with it with this really sweet Princeton Tweed clone that I got the other day in a trade. It sounds real good. So I'm going to run it through that with a mic kind of in the room, and then I'm also running direct through a Strymon Iridium just to get us to cover all the bases in case we need it. And then after this, I'm going to cut to when I restrung this last night. We'll get into the nerdy stuff. I popped the pickups out so you can kind of see the underside of them if you ever find one of these. There's also a pick guard that goes on these, but I don't like it. I like the blue. They come in champagne. I think there's some tobacco burst ones. They also made another model called the M77T, which goes, I think it's even more hollow and has a slightly different pickup, and those you can kit in kind of that Gretsch orange or whatever. So that is all to say, I still think these are really cool guitars. Is it a $2,000 Duo Jet? Absolutely not. But for $600-ish, you can get a really unique Gretsch type guitar, and so I highly recommend them. So like I said, I just wanted to do this quick little deep dive. We'll do some demos. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start on the neck pickup. Now what you will notice, these are single coils. We're in my house with computers and lights and things everywhere. It does buzz when you're in the single positions, but you get a really great warm sound. Nice, warm, great pickup. Let's turn this so it stops buzzing. Yeah, Bigsby, it's okay. It's not the best. It's a DeArmond one that they made. The spring is super stiff in it. You don't get a lot of, you get a little bit of wiggle, but nothing earth-shattering there. All right, this is the position I like, is the middle. Now, when you work them together, now what you notice, if you start to roll the volumes off on them, you have to match the volumes to get the noise canceling. So here we go. And then finally, the bridge position. I mean, it gives you that. I'm going to use this on my Carl Perkins video. I'm going to do a little bit, but you get that 50s. it has some trouble staying in tune sometimes, especially if you start getting really crazy with this Bigsby on it. Something I have noticed, and I'm probably going to start doing, is I'm going to just start going off of this. I'm going to stop using the breaker bar on this that gets you the break angle. I actually think it gets it a little slinkier and stays in tune a little better without that super steep angle, especially since it's a tune-o-matic bridge. I guess you could get a roller. I don't like rollers on all my Gretches. I use bar bridges and they have a little bit of rocking. This one doesn't, so it's almost impossible not to get hung up. So a tip, maybe try it with going over the top of that bar and see what you think. I had that before I changed the strings, and then I decided to do it the proper way, and I don't like it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Check this guitar out. Look up DeArmond also makes some hollow bodies and some other models from the late 90s, early 2000s that are really killer. Look for the Korean made ones though. I've tried a couple of I don't remember, I think they're Chinese or whatever. I don't like them as well. Some people love them and that's great, but I'm a Korean DeArmond guy. They're fantastic guitars. So we're going to cut to a video now in a few that has all the nerdy stuff. I restrung this guitar last night. So okay, strings are off. So let's take a look at this old gal. So I think it was built in 99. We'll take a look at the serial number for a second, but this is the really great sparkle blue. The original one that I had that I bought way back in like 2000 was also sparkle blue. So when I saw this one, had to buy it. The Bigsby on these is a DeArmond Bigsby. It's not an actual Bigsby. I'm not sure who makes it, but it's fine. It's not the greatest. Spring is really stiff on these, so you'll get a little bit of wobble, but it's not as nice as say a Gretsch Bigsby would be. Actual rosewood fingerboard, which is really nice. And then you can kind of see at the top, basically what they were doing is when Fender bought Guild, was they took that name and then they bought the DeArmond name, and so they started making basically more budget friendly versions of Guilds, and they put the DeArmond name on it, built them in Korea, and then would put the Dynasonics on them. So in this case though, they're not actually Dynasonics. So back in the late 90s, they had a couple of different types of these. They had some 2000s and some 2Ks. I believe these are the 2Ks, and honestly, they're more closely related to a P90, I feel like, than an actual old school Dynasonic or DeArmond 2000 pickup. So I'm going to take one of these out so you can kind of see what it looks like on the inside, because there's always so much confusions with these that sometimes you want to know, if you end up buying one of these, what they look like. So actually, while we've got it here, let me flip it over. You can see the back. The backs are kind of gorgeous on these guys. Electronics are fine. It's kind of the standard fare that you would find in a Asian made guitar from back then. Honestly, all the Gretches were built in Japan and kind of had the same thing, the split shafts. There's the neck on it as well. The tuners are actually really nice on this. I would say the tuners are nicer than my old 96 Duo Jet. So like I said, I had a Duo Jet also, and I think I did some really short videos when I was first learning how to do YouTube, kind of doing a quick comparison of the two, and I decided to keep this guy. Now, they're heavy. I think this thing is 8 or 9 pounds. I have it written down. I'll try to find it later and maybe mention it in the other part of the video where we do the demo. But like I said, they're really well-built guitars, honestly. I really like them. So let's get this pickup out. We'll take a quick look at it so you can identify it. Now, the knobs that were originally on this one when I got it were broken. So I just got a few new speed knobs for there. There was a little damage on the side of the bridge also that I ended up having to fix. Like I said, this poor guitar had a rough life before I got it, but luckily we were able to save it. I will say, it's just a cheap plastic nut on these guys, so you may want to change one of those if you get it, if you're so inclined, but I haven't had any trouble. So let's pop one of these pickups out and then we'll take them another look and get it restrung. All right, I did a double check real quick on the old internets, and yes, it is a 2K is the name of these pickups. Like I said, there's the inside and the back if someone is curious about the guts. Like I said, I feel like they're closer to a P90. They still give you a pretty great sound. I would say even the 90s Duo Jets are probably closer to a Les Paul than they are the old Duo Jets. Now I will say, like in 2000, 2001, when Fender kind of made that deal with Gretsch, they started hollowing them out again, and those Duo Jets are legit. Those things are great. I really need to get one of those one of these days. But honestly, if you don't want to spend $2,000, you can find these guys for $600 online a lot of the times. Like I said, you can look at the metal flake in there. They look really cool. I'm a big fan. I don't think I really need anything else when it comes to looking for my Gretsch style sound. So there we go. We'll get this baby restrung, and then I'm gonna get some sleep. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, thanks to everyone who has liked and subscribed. Greatly appreciate it. I'm not the best demo guy for gear, but we'll do some more of these maybe. I'm gonna use this guitar on a lesson in a little bit, so we'll have that out in a week or so. Yeah, so please like, subscribe, comment, tell me some other gear you're interested in. Tell me your sleeper guitars that you think are just as good as their American counterparts, or some things that they're kind of competing with that people don't know a lot about. Like I said, I'm a big fan of Guild also, as well as DeArmond. So comment, subscribe. Thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you around.